and the people on YouTube, of course. Good morning. I'm a little bit tired today, so I do apologise for that if I look half ill like a zombie. But I am tired. It's been a long week. But back onto what I'm doing today. I am here in a place called Howick. Now that's Howick, H-O-W, not Howick, which is the surname of Ren from Ren and Stimpy. Remember them? I quite like that cartoon actually. And Howick Hall's actually just over there to the west. Brilliant place. It's where Earl Grey used to live, and his wife Lady Grey. So have you ever heard of Earl Grey tea? That's where that comes from. Massive garden, wild deer and everything wandering around. But oh, Speedy Gonzales just went past there at 100 miles an hour. I'm at the seaside here, so I'm going to trace along to a place called Craster, and then from there I'm going to go on to Dunstanburgh Castle. Now it's pretty ruinous, there's not a lot there, but it's, do you know what, the weather's that poor today. It's 3 degrees, it's freezing cold, there's a heavy wind, and it's been raining, and it is going to rain. I think that sometimes looks good on film when you're at the seaside, especially if there's rocks. It just has a nice look to it. So I'm going to suffer for art, put it that way. It's absolutely freezing, but I'll keep you updated as to, you know, which bits fall off. So I'm going to trace along a cheeky trail there, and we'll see what I can spot. Not going to be a particularly long one today, although the walk itself is probably going to be about 5 or 6 miles. But near the castle, I know at one point they tried to use it for defences during the war, so there may be new trenches or new structures. So I'm going to see if I can spot anything using my roving eye there. So right, enough talking, let's get onto the map and do a recce and see what's going on here. Come on, get the map, come on, stop messing about.
Right, let's have a look at this map. So that's where we are now, so Howick, and this coastline here is where I'm going to follow, and there's a trail on it, so this is where I'm parked. In fact, let's change to satellite and it makes more sense. Right, we're on satellite, so I'm parked here, and there's a little track here which you can follow up and along. There's a nice little bay there with more parking, and then you go along, keep heading north, and there's another bay there, and eventually once you get to the end of these rocks you hit Craster. So that's Craster there, and there's the harbour, and then eventually if you keep continuing you will reach Dunstanburgh Castle. There it is. So there's not a lot left, but it's still worth looking at. So the ruins are quite important. It's a 14th century place, but excellent placement, look, to stop attacks. That's fantastic. So there are still parts intact there. So the plan is, let's have a look. We'll start down there and travel along up, and keep heading north, and you eventually end up at Dunstanburgh Castle. So it should be a good day. It's looking a bit cold out here, but we'll just see what happens. Temperature, it's something like 2 to 3 degrees, and the wind's getting hard now, and it's been drizzling. And just out of interest, look, there's Howick Hall where I've been. Fantastic place. Look at the size of that place. Huge gardens, and they just go on and on and on. The gardens, they stretch on and on and on. They're absolutely fantastic. Brilliant place. I've seen wild deer there and all sorts, and there is a path there which takes you to the coast, but you can't go back on yourself because it's like a turnstile. But brilliant place. So come on, let's make an effort.
Right, I've made it to Craster. Fantastic here, look. What a view, eh? Now, the weather ain't great. It's really windy, so I'm hiding behind a wall here, but the clouds are great, so I'm taking a cheeky time lapse over the bay here. Over the harbour, I should say. My apologies. There's only one boat in there, look. He's brave. I don't know where the rest are. There's a lot of lobster pots over there, which I'll go and have a look at, but it's great here, look at that. Brilliant skies. So we're not at the castle yet, but I'm going to have a break because I haven't eaten all day and it's nearly dinner time, so I've had nothing. And generally what happens is if I do 10 miles and I haven't eaten, I get a headache, so I'm going to have a delicious cheese sandwich. Now how's that for Hollywood? Actually, there was something I meant to ask in this video for the viewers. But I forgot what it is. So whatever it was, I'll remember later after I've eaten and I'm a human again and I can remember what I'm supposed to be saying. So a lovely place here, limited parking, so probably the best idea is park where I parked and walk along because it's double yellow lines everywhere. And I've seen loads of cars going backwards and forwards. So I'm going to go and sit over there next to those lobster pots and have a little bite to eat. And the sun's coming out. My God, the sun, I love it. Look at all these lobster pots. I know I've mentioned it before, but you can see how they work. What you do is you put a load of bait in. Obviously this hole shouldn't be there, that needs fixing. But you put a load of bait in and the lobster goes in here and drops in and then is unable to get out. At least that's the plan anyway. This is just ballast to keep it down. And then you put a marker buoy which floats, or buoy if you're American. I don't know why you call it that, but it's buoy. So there's loads here, and there's some skeletons of some, so that they're being just made. They need the netting on, and there's the ballast already on. In fact, they've probably been repaired because they're already rusty. So quite interesting, but it's a very effective way of catching lobsters. You can put them out regularly, and then they charge about £5 a pop when they sell them. But if you're in a restaurant, it's 20 quid. I can't work out how that happens, but someone's making a lot of money. So let's get along. So I'm going to head along this direction to Dunstanburgh Castle and let's see what's happening. Look at the sea. It's getting a bit rough out there, and the clouds have come, so I think it's probably going to rain, but it always does rain when I come out, so that's completely normal. So let's get along here and have a look for this castle.
Aha! What have I found here? In the castle walls. Is that a toilet? You've got the walls here that go around the castle, and then the sea's over there. So is that for people to go to the toilet? After the amount of walking I've done, I could do with having a go myself, but I won't. So the wall goes all the way along here. I'm looking for somewhere to hide from the wind because it's freezing. It's 3 degrees now. And it's very cold. Right, I've had a look at the castle and I'm heading back because it's 2 degrees now and I can hardly bend my fingers, and it's 20 mph wind so when you put in the wind chill it ends up around -1, -2, so it's hard going. But look, the waves are getting up, so I'm going to head back now. But I've had a good time, it's been really nice, loads of wildlife, incredible. And I've got a few little snacks to try now. I've remembered the thing I was supposed to ask. What I was going to ask was, are some of my videos too long? Because some of them are like an hour long, and do you really want to be sat there for an hour listening to me waffle on? So stick a comment in the bottom, in the section below. And look what I found behind me. You see it? Up there, there's like a little... What's that? So someone's a star, not me. Right, I'm heading back. So there's the castle back there. And then back there is Craster. So that's Craster there. But it's been really nice. Massive long walk. It's probably going to be about 5 or 6 miles by the time I finish. But good fun, good fun. Right, let's get on, because the bloke with his noisy kids is coming, so I'm away.
Good evening, Northumbria. Right, finally, I'm back. And although I look like I've been sniping, I haven't actually. It's that cold, I've had to cover everything. So, I can't move much, but I can still move my mouth, so I will speak. Okay, let me have a little drink. 7 miles in total, because I've just checked. I'm extremely cold. What's got me today has been the wind chill. Unfortunately, wind chill, especially when it's full on 25 miles an hour, it really drops the temperature. So because of that, I'm suffering. But I'm a northern lad, so it's all good fun. And I'll survive. Right, let's talk about what happened today. So I walked along from Howick, not Howick, Wren Howick, remember? Howick, near Howick Hall on the coast of Northumbria. And then I headed north, because you remember I checked the map and I recce'd it, and I went up and you eventually get to Craster, which is a lovely little place. It's a little bay. It's famous for its fish. Not the fish that it catches, but the fish that it produces, in that it gets the herring and it smokes them. So you get a red herring. That's where red herring comes from. It's smoked. And you get kippers. Although Scottish people, I know when I've gone up to Scotland and talked to people about this and said, okay, Craster kippers, never heard of them. They've never heard of them, and they say, no, it's Arbroath smoky. So For a Scottish person, that's what they think about. But in the northeast, we know Craster kippers as being quite famous. Unfortunately, the smokehouse wasn't running today, otherwise I would have tried to sneak in and have a look. I did get a shot of it outside, and it wasn't open, and I couldn't even buy any. So here's the problem I have with kippers. The taste, fantastic. It's that same smoked goodness that you get with bacon. However, there's millions of tiny little horrible bones, so it's almost, to me, it's inedible. So if you're going to get kippers, this is my advice. Get tinned kippers. Now, I know that sounds horrible, but they're not. Yes, they've got a little bit of oil on, but you can get rid of that. Tinned kippers, they use an enzyme. And what the enzyme does is it removes the bones. So you can enjoy the fish without these horrible hairline bones. They're horrible. I hate them. And I'm sick of these people saying, stop complaining. It's a nice flavour. And what you do is you have bread with it and then you can't taste the bones. That's like saying, all right, do you want me to... Right, someone's done a dog turd and they're going to put it on the ice cream, but if you eat this at the same time, you won't taste it. That's not the point. It should be edible without any problems. So, tinned kippers. Right, back to what I was supposed to be talking about. So, you then head north from Craster again. Sorry, my nose is running. I'm extremely cold here. So, you head north again, and you eventually get to Dunstanburgh Castle. It's 14th century, and historically wise, it's been going and going and going. It's changed hands and changed hands. And unfortunately, in that process, no one has bothered to keep it going. So it's now an absolute bloody ruin. It's a disgrace. And strangely, when you come up to the main gate, you've got to pay to get into the first little bit, but not the rest. So I don't understand that. So I walked around to the free bit. So, okay, fair enough. So I enjoyed the free bit. I don't think you should have to pay to learn about history. That's my personal opinion. I'm with... Andrew Carnegie. He said, you shouldn't have to be paying for education, and I agree with him, because it creates a two-tier system of the haves and have-nots. Education should be free. For me, it's what separates us from the animals, essentially. There's no difference between me and a caveman other than my education, really. So we're the same species at the same process and at the same point. So education is extremely important, but enough of that. So back to what I'm supposed to be talking about again. So I enjoyed the castle. I really liked it. The whole trek is quite long, and unfortunately, because it's a rugged coastline, wheelchair access, no good. So if you're okay at walking, you'll enjoy this, but there are some little steep bits. It doesn't bother me, but I'm young and fit, so I can't vouch for everyone in that regards. So I really liked it. Now I should give it a mark out of 10. Oh God, I'm thirsty. Right, if you park where I am and walk up, do the 7 miles, have a look and come back, and it's not windy and you're not dying from frostbite like I am, 7.5. And I'll tell you why. Fantastic rugged coastline, amazing views constantly. Craster's brilliant. The castle, yeah, it's fallen to bits, but that's history for you, isn't it? It's a really nice area, loads of wildlife. I've seen loads of birds, oyster catchers, gulls, everything, amazing. Some I don't even know, so I'm going to have to look up. So if I have got any footage, I will have to look them up, because unfortunately, unlike Nature Northeast, which is a channel that you should subscribe to, and I've already told you that, David over there, he knows his stuff with birds. Unfortunately, I'm kind of stupid when it comes to things like that. I spent my time learning about fungus and insects and things like that, and computers. Although, on that note, computers, if there's any Bitcoin traders watching this, can you please stop short selling it, because it's dropping the price. So that's getting really on my nerves at the moment. Us miners have a lot of work to do. Right, I'm going to head back because I'm hungry. Actually, talking of hungry, I've got a secret delight. Are you ready to see the secret delight? I'll go and get it. Bear with me. Where's the secret delight? Ah, there it is. Right. God, it's cold. Right, I've got a secret delight to try, so I'm going to take this off. My hair's all sticking up and I look like a plonker, but never mind. Right, look at this delight. So it's Moroccan lamb 20 grams of protein, not bad, not bad. And this is supposed to be for rugged walkers like myself. Well, I'm not rugged, but I'm a walker. So it says oven baked meat snack, Moroccan lamb with apricot and date. Sounds a bit highfalutin. Right, let's give this a try. I'm too weak to open it. Right, here's what I'm expecting. Moroccan lamb. I'm expecting. Oh, it's got stuff all over it. I'm expecting. Do you know what it looks like? A dog treat with jelly on it. Right, how appetizing is that? It smells like a lamb kofta, but I'm expecting like a warm Mediterranean breeze to come past as I sit in Morocco, you know, near the Pillars of Hercules there, the Mediterranean. Right, let's have a try this. Do you know what it looks like? It looks like a lamb kofta that's been stood on. Right, let's have a taste. Do you know what? It's got no flavour. It's almost as if someone's got... It's like a flapjack with no sugar in. I presume it's got lamb in. Well, I'm going to give this delight. Nah, that's boring. Paleo inspired, high protein, nut free. Right. I'm going to give this 2 out of 10. It's rubbish. No flavour. It's like a dog treat. And it certainly doesn't make me want to have more. Right, there's 2 people sat there staring at me, so let's make a move. So marks out of 10, 7.5 out of 10 for today. Like, it's absolutely fantastic. Amazing area, loads of wildlife, open. There's only 2 things that annoy me, well 3 things that annoyed me today. The wind, this guy with about 10 kids and they're all dead naughty, and that. Now although it may look like I'm a stigmata, no, that's not a stigmata, that's bloody barbed wire. So stupid me, I broke the cardinal rule of the outdoors. You never put your hand where you can't see. Abroad, obviously, that's for stinging insects, you know, snakes and things like that. But when you're in the UK, you don't have to worry about that. But it still holds true in that you don't know what you're touching. So I stupidly tried to get a better shot of something and went through a bush and thought, I'll just grab this or that. If you don't know what you're grabbing, you shouldn't be grabbing it. And unfortunately, that's what I did. So I grabbed onto what I thought was a wire fence, and that's what I got for my trouble there. So luckily I carry a load of stuff with me. I've got antiseptic, alcohol and ammonia, so I'll stick something on that, but not the end of the world. I'll not die. So anyway, 7.5. that I'm struggling to give it a 1 because it would keep you alive, but there's no flavour. It's terrible. Who makes this? Right, I'm going to name and shame. I like this. It says devour and conquer. Oh, aye. Right, no compromise. Who makes it? Who makes it? I want to slag you off. Yeah, you see, they'll not put their name on it. They'll not put their name. Oh, it's Forry. So Forry, you're rubbish. Well, in this regards, anyway. If you do other ones, I'll try them, but it's supposed to have apricots and dates and stuff. I can't taste the thing. Right, 7.5. I've had a brilliant day, even though I'm a stigmata. And I would highly recommend it. But again, wheelchair access poor. And I did have a question for the viewers. Are hour-long videos too long for you? Because I'm starting to do longer ones because I like to take more shots. I used to just think, well, 45 minutes would be a top, but now I'm reaching an hour on some of them. So is an hour too long? Or do you want even more? If you want more, I mean, you know, I could film myself go to the toilet or something, or, you know, clear my nose. I can't think of what else I would do, but I'm sure I'd come up with something. So do you want longer or shorter? Right, I'm off. Have a nice day, everybody, and I've had a nice day, and I'm going to go home for a kip. Bye bye.